on both channels. I'm not sure.
Okay, so for this video, we wanted to give you an update on Jacob, who is serving a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So starting off, we're going to post this on that YouTube family and on the Jacob Chai channel. But if you want to follow along with his mission, he will be gone for 2 years.
22 more months.
Serving in Florida. So if you would like to follow along and see how he's doing and what he's up to, make sure to jump over to Jake and Ty.
There will be all the
That
updates
channel.
there, and it's so exciting.
Yep, so Jacob has actually been in Florida
Orlando.
for 1 month.
Yep.
For maybe just barely over a month. But he's been on his mission for about 6 weeks. 7 weeks?
It's come
6
by
or
quick.
7 weeks,
Holy
because he
cow.
did some home
Yeah.
missionary prep
Training.
here.
Yeah.
So he's in Florida. We're going to go down the line and we're going to give you some updates on what has happened in the past month of Jacob being gone. And we're going to start with me and go down the line. So week 1, this was crazy, guys. He went to Florida. He was sick when he flew out on the airplane. He was not feeling good. He also got kicked in the head.
Which was a total accident. You
It was
gotta
an
explain.
accident.
That was like...
So they were playing basketball and somehow he ended up kicking.
No, it was
a
frisbee.
basketball. Oh, frisbee. And he ended up kicked in the head.
Because Jake
So-
he like dodged for the frisbee, and then someone else like lunged and accidentally kicked it.
Yes.
dodge or
So
dive?
the
Dive.
airplane ride to Florida was really rough. Then he got to Florida just in time for that hurricane to come. It was Hurricane
Milton. Hurricane Milton. And
Milton.
guys,
Milton.
no,
Helene
it was
the
Hurricane
week
Milton.
before. Yes. that's
Yeah,
right.
so
Milton.
it was Hurricane Milton, and we were so nervous. So fun fact, we actually grew up in Florida, so we've gone through a lot of hurricanes, we've experienced it a lot, and so we were confident that like Jake was gonna be well taken care of. He had experienced it before, and he had a lot of mission leaders to watch over him and like guide him through the whole process. But still, it's kind of like nerve-wracking. We were like, oh.
This hurricane was projected to be very devastating because we just had Hurricane Helene that came through, and that one caused so much devastation and has really upset a lot of people's lives. And they're still, even right now, trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
And so this one was projected to be just as devastating. And
It was supposed to be Category 5.
it was supposed to be pretty bad. So we were a little bit nervous for Jake. He was told when he got there on his end that he needed to have a 72-hour kit ready to go. Now, everybody in Florida, when you live in Florida, you're often advised over the news and through schools that you should always have a 72-hour kit ready. They always have every year a hurricane preparedness lessons, I guess, that they teach. And
Like a
they
drill.
like drills, and they recommend. So everybody knows in Florida to prepare for hurricane season. And so Jake, however, came and he had like 2 or 3 days before the hurricane was going to hit. He was supposed to have a 72-hour kit. Him and his companion. So how companions work, first of all, before I get ahead of myself, is that when people go on missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they serve together in pairs of either 2 or 3 people. And so that's called companion. And so they'll go out and they'll teach people and they'll do service projects. So Jacob's companion and him did not have a car. They were car sharing with another set of missionaries. And so getting to the store was really difficult to get the 72-hour kit ready, and everybody had to get stuff. Even his companion and the other missionaries, they had to get water, and water was difficult to obtain.
Because everybody rushes the store.
Yes, everybody goes to the stores and the supplies were getting taken. I mean, hurricane season's very busy. Like when one's going to hit, I know from experience, like people are busy boarding up houses, they're trying to get their water, so it's very busy, and yeah, the stores were emptying. So we started to have a little bit of a panic for him, so we were on the phone call with him, and we're trying to make sure he had food for the next few days, had water, had maybe a flashlight, just the things that he needed, because he was going to be relocated to a safe place, which was at a church building, which was more like hurricane safe than his apartment and not in a flooding area. And so they were moving all these missionaries, hundreds of missionaries, to a church building together. And he didn't have his supplies and couldn't get them all. And so we were like calling, trying to figure out his location, first of all, to where we could send supplies. And then we were calling supplies in and trying to have like a Uber driver type person deliver these supplies.
It worked out pretty good.
And it worked out great. We were able to do it, but it was a little bit panic. And when he got to the place, they ended up having a lot of classes and meetings. They played some games, huge slumber party, basically. I think it went really well through the hurricane, and it pretty much just knocked out some power, downed a few trees. Where he was at, it was less devastating, but in our old area, it was a direct hit, and there was more flooding and more buildings that were damaged and destroyed where we used to live. But his area was pretty good. So
Yeah.
He was a lot of rain.
He was pretty, yeah. They were all pretty protected, and everyone was safe, and, yeah, I think it was just power, right? They just lost power at the very end, so.
Yep.
Yeah. Phew!
Oh, but like he was doing right before the hurricane, not just gathering his supplies, he was helping the people in the area round up their animals, get them to safety.
Building
he was doing
fences.
service, building fences, because that's part of what that's part of what people do when they go serve an LDS mission, is that they do a lot of service projects, which David and Jordan could testify to. And so he was busy. It was a very busy. He jumped right in, and that's very unusual, I think, to go into your mission and have that
It was just
kind of
chaos.
crazy,
Yeah.
craziness.
It's unusual to have a natural disaster hit on your first week.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
You didn't do anything.
So that was week 1.
Week 2, so like Mom says, missionaries are pretty busy every day. They meet a lot of new people. They do a lot of service. So he's doing that on the regular. But a particular big moment week 2 was that he finally got his very own bike.
So that was a milestone too.
Yes.
A little bit behind the scenes that you may not know.
Yeah.
He reached out to me and said, "Hey, Dad, what's a good bike to get?" I really have no idea because I haven't ridden bikes like for a living for a long time.
30 years.
But I did some research on it, found a local bike shop. He went there. It was actually really cool because they had like this payment portal. So he didn't have to pay for it out of his own pocket. I was able to pay for it with my credit card. He was able to get the bike. It's seamless. It was pretty quick. So.
Good. Yeah, did lots of research, was looking on Facebook, Marketplace, was looking at like different bike shops. Like Mom says, him and his companion share a car with a bunch of other missionaries, and so they don't have access to the car all the time. So it makes it very hard to get to places, and they need to go to a lot of different places. So they were able to get his very own bike, and so he does a lot of biking with his companion. And so they were just biking along the side of the road, and it was like trash day, I guess, because everyone's trash cans were out. His companion, zoomed by the trash can find
And
Jake.
they're big trash cans too.
Was it like the
They're
big,
the
massive
big
one?
ones,
Oh, it's
yeah.
not like your house
No,
ones?
they're the big ones.
Oh, I wasn't picturing it. So it's like the heavy metal one.
Well, not metal. It's
No,
the
it's
big
there's
plastic.
big black ones that are bigger
Okay.
than the residential black
Yeah,
Oh,
ones.
they're
wow.
They're big
So
ones.
he ended up crashing into one of those and scuffing up his brand new bike. But
Day one.
he made it out without him getting any scratches.
Which is
he was completely
crazy,
fine.
'cause-
No tears on his suit.
Yeah.
No markings.
No, he didn't get a single scratch. He wasn't hurt at all, which is so miraculous because, like, I mean, that's pretty. If you crash a bike, usually you get pretty scratched up. Like,
Yeah, you fall and...
He landed in the road.
Yeah, he fell into the street. The bike went into the yard or something like that.
It was. I
Poor
can't
Jakey.
believe that he made it out without any scratches or
It's such a
twisted
miracle.
ankle or.
He was literally being
bruises.
watched over that day.
Yeah.
So that's something crazy that happened during week 2. Week 3.
So week 3. So every week he gets to call home on Mondays, and so we wake up Monday at like 7:30 waiting for a call. He never calls that early.
Actually,
No,
once.
he did.
He did
one
once.
time.
The very
he goes
first
at
time
4
he did.
a.m.
And then the rest of us. So we're all like ready to talk to him.
4
And
a.m. our
he
time.
goes out and does like his shopping for his food and whatever they want to do in the morning. So he usually calls us in the afternoon. Well, in this particular week, he went out and bought a chessboard. And he's like, "Hey, I want to play chess with you while we talk on the phone." And I was like,
And
well,
like
that's
do it through
interesting.
FaceTime, like show chess.
Yeah.
And
So he had his phone and he's like trying to show it, and it didn't really work too well because the angle, I couldn't see the whole board, and it was kind of nauseating, to be honest with you, because he was like moving the phone around and only showing part of the board. And so what we did is we took the board and put like the number spaces and the letter spaces on it. So like, for example, A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then all the way through H. And so we were able to say pawn A2 to A3. And that actually worked out pretty good. I didn't know that I was going to be playing chess for like 2.5 hours that day.
Jake was obsessed with chess.
And then Ty played him because I had to go get Ty from school. Ty came home and was playing him. Jake beat me only because I couldn't see the board very well. That's why. And then I think he and Ty tied. So
Jake and I tied. He might have won, but it's kind of a tie.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's kind of interesting when you listen to Jake talking on the phone, at least on week 3, he was talking a lot about food. Like
He was trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, his world is kind of revolving around food appointments, and because at dinner time they typically have members of the church there will invite them into the home and
Cook
have
a meal,
dinner
which
with
is
them.
so nice.
It is.
so
It's
nice.
super nice because you get a home cooked meal.
Yeah, which is so nice.
Because he has a stove that doesn't function totally properly right now, and so
Yeah.
cooking meals at home has been a little bit hard for him, a little bit of a challenge. I think since then it's been
Must be
fixed,
better
right?
because I
He got
haven't
new
talked
pots
about
and
it
pans and
again.
things, but yeah. So when other people invite him into their home to cook a meal, that's
so
big.
nice.
Plus,
Yeah.
their budget is very, very tiny, so
Yeah,
it's
he gets.
helpful.
That's another thing he talks about. He's like, yeah, I get paid.
You don't
He's not
really, you
being-
don't,
really get paid.
He has an allowance.
We give him we
Yes.
give the church money, and the money then gets distributed to the missionaries to help pay for everything.
Yeah.
the
All
the
housing,
missionaries.
the car, the food.
Yeah.
I'll call it a stipend. They get like an allowance
Yes,
to live
an
off
allowance.
Yeah, so you
It's very
don't,
small.
as a missionary, you don't get paid at all. You actually pay to serve a mission.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
From his perspective, though.
of.
Yeah.
Because he's
From
getting
his
his weekly
perspective,
allowance.
he gets a card that they put some money on, and
Yeah.
then he can go buy whatever he needs to survive for the week or
Yep.
for the month or whatever it happens to be. But this particular week, it was funny because Jake's kind of picky for food that he eats, and he does have a peanut allergy. But it was interesting. He kept talking about pizza. Like everybody was feeding him pizza. Like pizza lined up for every
Pizza
day of the week.
every single day.
And he likes pizza, so he was like having a great time. And then I'll just fast forward to the other week for food. It was steak week. Like everybody was feeding him steak, and
But very nice steak.
he's talking like
awesome.
big,
Good.
thick T-bone steaks. I was like, dang, dude. I'm actually kind of getting hungry now. He's talking about
so
that.
good.
He also bought 5 pounds of ground beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, which has been a hard thing.
he
to
went
do.
to
I think he's
he went to
realized portion
Costco.
sizes are different when it's just you needing to cook.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
went to Costco and he didn't really know what to buy, so he did buy a big 5-pound thing of ground beef, and we were just giving him a whole bunch of recipes on what to use that with, like
Yeah.
tacos or
Yeah.
hamburgers or just. I don't see him making meatloaf, but we did say he said
though.
meatloaf. I think.
It'd be
but-
easy.
Yeah. Honestly, that's one of the joys and adventures of moving out for your first time and living on your own for the first time. A lot of people experience that when they serve a mission, like that's their first time moving out and living in an apartment and making their own food and stuff. And so it's just one of those adventures.
So he's getting fed really well. He's making some great friends. Him and his companion, they get along well, which makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And so he's having a really good time.
Yep. And then week 4, Jacob got our package. Woo! So
one thing is, if you tell Katie you need something, she goes and gets it.
yeah, she's got
I'm
it. So we made a little package and everything and wrote letters and put a bunch of different treats in there and sent it off, and he finally got the package. It was so exciting. He got to open it and all these things. Super fun. And then he also, this week on his preparation day, he went to the mall because he needed some more body wash. And so I thought that was kind of fun, like gonna go to the mall and things. And this week there weren't too many big updates. It was mostly just he was teaching lessons. So he goes out and he teaches people about Jesus Christ and his gospel and spreads the good news. So that's really what he was doing pretty much all week, and meeting with members, going on bike rides to people's houses.
Oh, he's been working out every day.
Yep, working out every
Hitting
day.
the gym, so he's gonna have big muscles.
Yep, so
He's gonna be a different kid.
so that's pretty much his update for week 4.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So we will keep you updated as Jake serves throughout his mission. As you know, we did this for Jordan, so you could go back and look at just Jordan 3 if you want to find out more about like what it is about serving a mission and follow along on her journey. But stay tuned to Jake and Ty's channel called Jake and Ty. And there you'll be able to follow him for the next 2 years until we see him again. So anyway, thank you guys so much for caring for Jacob and showing him how much you love him. And we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.